Previously on WandaVision.
So he eats some plants and he dies. Which is weird because they're Agnes's plants. And so I fully believe Agnes killed this dog. Which is messed up. I don't know if she did it to mess with Wanda, to mess with the boys' vision, or distract them from a larger threat, but I just think it's weird. I hope nothing happens to those kids because Pietro straight up calls them demon spawns. And again, in the comics, they're demons. So hopefully that does not come to fruition, because I already got attached to these two boys and I do not want to lose them. I will freak out. Remember how I said the director is acting a little sus? Pedro's acting real sus. I'm at a loss for words. Hey guys, my name is Mike, the Novice Cinephile, and today we are back with another WandaVision review, the series finale. If you have not seen WandaVision episode 9, this is your chance to leave. Now, I missed the last two episodes 7 and 8, so we're going to just briefly cover those, and then we're getting straight into spoilers for WandaVision episode 9. So again, this is your spoiler warning. If you have not seen the finale, go to Disney Plus. You won't regret it. Then come back here. Episode 7 is the final sitcom spoof. This one is done in the vein of Modern Family, The Office, and even a hint of Blackish. I personally enjoyed this one a lot. It revealed a few things like Pietro not being real, or how Agatha has been behind this all along, giving us a great song that's been stuck in my head for weeks now. I love it and I hate it. Well, we also put to rest all those stupid Mephisto theories by letting everybody know, yeah, it was Agnes. It was Agatha all along. Awesome. Great episode. Unfortunately, that's the end of our sitcom. Now we're going to a Marvel movie. In episode 8, it's called Previously On. And so it's just a big old flashback of Wanda's life and all the trauma and pain that she's felt, from the death of her parents to the death of her brother to the death of Vision. It's just a lot, and it's really an interesting episode on how Wanda deals with her grief and her pain. And so I personally loved it. A lot of people thought it was kind of filler-esque, which I understand. We kind of just stopped to reveal stuff that we kind of already knew about, but we didn't go into great detail on. I personally loved it. This is Wanda's show, so I'm glad we finally had an episode to tell us who Wanda is, who Agatha is, and what the Scarlet Witch is. That brings us to today's episode, the series finale, aptly titled the series finale. So, episode 9 of WandaVision picks up right where episode 8 left off. Wanda is facing off against Agatha. She has Billy and Tommy, held hostage, choking them out. This entire episode is just balls to the wall action. Wanda has to fight Agatha, has to discover herself as being the Scarlet Witch, which we never really get clear. Is the Scarlet Witch like this legend of prophecy that's just now manifesting with Wanda? Or is it a reincarnation type of deal where there's a Scarlet Witch every few hundred years or so? We're still not clear on that. I feel like Doctor Strange is going to touch on that later. We'll get to that in a second, though. So, also, episode 8 revealed that Hayward had a white vision. So, we're going to talk about Hayward for a second, because this dude bugs the crap out of me. So he goes into the Hex saying that he wants to retrieve Vision. That's what we all thought he wanted to do. But it turns out he already had Vision. He had white Vision, who is the original Vision's body, whereas the one in the Hex is a manifestation that Wanda created. So is he going after Wanda, or is he going after Vision, or does he think he can somehow just take the Vision that Wanda has and use it as his own? It's never really made clear. And so Hayward is not an interesting antagonist. He's kind of just a jerk. White Vision, though, fights Vision, I guess. Which one's real, which one's not. I love their fight, though, because since they're both Vision, they're both smart enough to stop fighting and talk it out and figure things out from there. I thought that was a really great touch on Vision as a character, because no matter which version of Vision that was there, both of them decided to solve the problem with their words and understanding rather than their phasey laser super strength powers, you know. Monica is still with Pietro, fake Pietro. Find out fake Pietro is Ralph. That's an interesting twist. I really don't know why Marvel got Evan Peters, unless they just wanted to mess with us as much as Agatha wanted to mess with Wanda. Like, it just feels like a pointless subplot now that I think about it. It didn't really do much. We could have put anybody in that role. I really would have loved if we just got Aaron Taylor Johnson back to do the 2 or 3 episodes that Evan Peters was in, because, yeah, they messed with us, and I don't appreciate that. So, Wanda's fighting Agatha and discovering that maybe she is a witch, maybe she isn't. What is she? Is she just a mutant? We never really say or see. What I love about WandaVision is that while the fan theories were always Mephisto this or Magneto that or Professor X or Reed Richards, the show never did that. The show was always about Wanda. And I appreciate that they stuck to their guns and not shoehorn another character in here, because the show needs to be about Wanda. We need to know who she is. She is the strongest Avenger. She's stronger than Doctor Strange. That's what, Agatha said in this episode. So we really need to develop Wanda as a character. She is the strongest Avenger. It's just a fact. So it's nice that we spent all this time developing who Wanda is as a character, as a person, understanding her feelings and her trauma and her pain. And so I'm glad we didn't introduce a Mephisto, Reed Richards, or whatever fans were theorizing. It was kind of weird how Marvel kind of let us on. Like, what was the deal with, I have an aerospace engineer, or, they kept doing random crap like that would lead you to theorize, which, on one hand, it's kind of cool, because they knew none of it would pan out. But on the other hand, I'm glad the show stays about Wanda, because that's who we signed up for. That's who we came to see. It's called WandaVision. And so Wanda and both versions of the Vision were fantastic in this episode. Unfortunately, we can never have a happy ending with Wanda Maximoff. She loses everything, like I expected her to, honestly, from the beginning of the series. Knew none of this was going to last. Jimmy and Darcy also are kind of sidelined in this episode. Darcy literally just continues to drive the car she did in episode 7, which is kind of hilarious. She's just been driving through traffic that entire time ever since Vision flew out the truck and left her. And Jimmy, he calls backup. That's pretty much his role, which I'm not mad. There's not much Jimmy can do in a battle of witches. So, Monica apparently gets a call from a friend of her mother's, which is probably Talos or Nick Fury. I'm leaning towards Nick Fury because of the end credit scene of Far From Home. Nick Fury's already in space. They said they need her to go to space. I assume she's going to go and be in Captain Marvel 2. Captain Marvel 2 is probably going to be Monica, Nick Fury, and Carol Danvers, obviously. So that'll be interesting to see what they do with her. We didn't really get a clear idea of what her power set is. We know that she's pretty much invincible. It looks like bullets don't hurt her. Wanda didn't really hurt her, so that'll be kind of cool. She helps Billy and Tommy out in the fight at one moment. I'm gonna miss those kids, man. That is probably the worst part of all of this. I don't know if Wanda's gonna try and bring them back at some point, or if she just accepted that they're gone, because in credit scene, Wanda's reading the Darkhold, which was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't know if we just made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. irrelevant and not canon. If Agatha was somehow able to get it from Ghost Rider, or wherever Ghost Rider took the Darkhold. I think Ghost Rider still had it at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so they might try and connect it that way. Regardless, Wanda's reading the Darkhold with all her witchy powers. So she's trying to figure out how to bring her kids back, because you can hear their voices as she's reading it. So that might be something that comes back in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I really think that Doctor Strange's going to have to help Wanda with her powers. In the same way a lot of people thought that Professor X would help Wanda with her powers. I think it's going to be Stephen Strange. He is the Sorcerer Supreme. She's a witch, apparently. I could see that, being an easy connection. So, WandaVision as a whole, I really enjoy. I love using sitcoms to kind of tell Wanda's story through the shows that she loved. And I also appreciate how she didn't do this on purpose. She didn't know how to break it. And I don't even know if she wanted to really break it. It's really interesting to see what they did with this character, because Wanda and Vision were my two least favorite Avengers. Hawkeye's right there in the movies. I love Hawkeye in the comics, but come on. Movies don't do anything with them. So I really, really appreciate that this show decided to go all in on Wanda's character and all in on who Vision is. Vision is one of my favorite Avengers now, simply because of his heart, his spirit, even though he's a synthesoid, and he technically doesn't have either of those things. Seeing him sacrifice everything to save the people, I think, is so fantastic. And seeing Wanda having to come to grips with that and accept it is also really powerful. Like seeing how the people in the Hex are affecting her, which means she's not cold. She doesn't want to keep these people hostage. But I guess she just thought that they were okay because she was okay. That's crazy, man. I love the show. Even if my theories were wrong, I love what they gave me. And that's what you gotta do at the end of the day. You gotta watch the show for what it is and enjoy it, or don't. Just don't watch it. WandaVision being Marvel's first, main show, aside from things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, or the Netflix stuff, being the first proper MCU show, I think was fantastic. I'm glad they led with this one because it was very episodic, very big mystery box. We got to theorize and talk about it every week. It was an event every time WandaVision came on. I have no complaints. I think this was a fantastic series. Highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it, but for some reason watched the spoiler review. But I want to know what you guys think. What did you think of this episode of WandaVision? Is Wanda really a witch? Does she get the power of the Scarlet Witch through reincarnation? Or is she getting it it gets passed down each generation? Or what's the deal with that? And how will that tie into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be reviewing the other Marvel shows. Probably won't do a weekly thing. Might do a mid-season, season finale type of deal with those shows. But yeah, we're going to be reviewing a lot of stuff. Got more Avatar stuff down the pipeline. More Marvel stuff, more DC stuff. Can't wait to see you all there. Have a great rest of your day. Stay flaming.